Twitter is now going to be paying its personalities who generate a certain amount of impressions. Basically, Twitter will operate in a similar way that YouTube does, that if you produce content that gets views and those views deliver ads, you get a cut of these ads. I was pleasantly surprised, rather abruptly, to get a pop-up on Twitter that said they were paying me about $6,000. And I'm like, I didn't even do anything. Like, I barely even use Twitter. But I want to pull up this tweet from Brian Krasenstein. I think Brian has been on a tear lately with some excellent tweets, and this one is very good. For those that aren't familiar, he is a liberal personality, but check out this one. This is good. He tweets, "The most entertaining outcome is the most likely outcome." I believe it was Elon who said that, wasn't it? Or was that a quote from somebody else?
That's Musk, yeah.
Elon said that. Elon. And he goes, "Blocked by Trump on Twitter in 2018. Unblocked by Trump on Twitter in 2019. Banned from Twitter in 2019. Unbanned by Elon in 2022, made $25,000 from Twitter in 2023. At this rate, I'll be CFO of Twitter by 2024 and Trump's VP by 25. So here's what's funny about this story. Of course, we'll get into the Twitter stuff, but Taylor Lorenz, you know her, you love her, wrote, "Far-right Twitter influencers first on Elon Musk's monetization scheme." I love it. Andrew Tate, "I am pretty sure that Brian Krasenstein, the liberal, Biden voter, made more money than Andrew Tate." And the Krasensteins, because it's his brother as well, even pointed out that between them, they made way more money than some of these other personalities. And Taylor Lorenz is calling it far right and omitting them from the story.
I far righted before I came over to here for the show. I went to the gym and I was doing cardio.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sure that JoJo from Jers and Brooklyn Dad are doing fine on Twitter as far as monetization. But yeah.
They don't get it from Twitter, though. They get it from the DNC.
Yes, exactly, right? Did you say, Kellen, earlier that you said that Taylor Lorenz was offered to box with Ashley Sinclair?
I think Ashley Sinclair.
Ashley Sinclair offered to box. Yeah,
it's never going to happen.
Taylor
will
didn't
never.
respond.
No, just Ashley Sinclair.
Too bad.
Posted. Yeah.
I got a shout out for the Krasenstein brothers. We've had him on the show before, but Brian responded to Taylor Lorenz's article. For those that aren't familiar with this context, Taylor Lorenz is a notoriously bad journalist who has written false and misleading stories. So in response to saying far-right Twitter influencers make money, he said, "You might be reading the Washington Post article by Taylor Lorenz and be thinking, but Brian Krasenstein made $24,000 from Elon, and he's not far-right. All I can say is, I work out." And I said, "I warned you, Brian." He posted a video of him working out, and I said, "You're going to become conservative." That's how it goes.
Start going to the gym.
You are. Yeah, and then Ed Krasenstein, his brother, also criticized this very heavily, saying it was factually incorrect, noting that there were right-wing personalities posting this, but that they had actually made more money than a lot of people. This is the media's game. What happened is Threads comes out by Instagram. It sucks.
It's horrible.
Elon then launches, as prescribed in February, that there would be rev sharing, like YouTube does and other social media platforms do, Instagram and Facebook do. And now they're acting like it is a big scheme to bribe people to stay on the platform. And they're acting like it's the far right. So let me get this straight.
Does YouTube bribe people?
All of these liberal personalities and leftists they refuse to pay for Twitter. They stop using Twitter. And then when the people who actually use the platform get paid, they go, aha, Elon Musk is bribing people. It's like, dude, the Krasensteins used the platform, stuck to the platform. They're liberals. They made money. At any rate, this is a very, very big deal in that there is now a viable platform for monetization outside of YouTube. Look, I tweet random nonsense. I have 1.7 million followers on Twitter. I don't know why. But thank you for following me on Twitter. Now I kind of know why. Now I'm like, oh, I should post clips onto Twitter. I should post content there. We should simulcast the stream or do something like that on Twitter, because now there's an opportunity to break the censorship market and shatter the censorship.
Mm-hmm.
Get all those hot takes you've been saving up forever and just start dropping them one by one so you can start making money.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know if they've got like special rates for people that produce content that's exclusive for Twitter, or what the deal's going to be. But, you know, a place like this produces plenty of content to put up on the old Twitter machine, you know?
I think it's awesome over the last few weeks you've seen with the Young Turks, I can't remember her name, Anna. And now with the Krasensteins. I don't want to call it a red pilling because I don't think it's quite that, but they're kind of seeing just how crazy the cult is. Right? Yeah. Because they got paid from Twitter, they're right wing now. Like, come on, man. So I hope the Krasensteins kind of, I think they know. I think they realize how kind of extreme the left can be at times, and I think definitely Anna knows from the Young Turks. But it's been awesome to witness, from like a backseat kind of perspective over the last few weeks.
Because she does not want to be a birthing person.
Yeah, no bonus holes.
No bonus
That's why
hole.
everyone's upset.
Yes.
I haven't heard that one yet. You caught me off guard.
That one ends up in the chat very often.
Bonus
That
hole.
one ends up in the chat very often when you're on live.
I mean, I don't blame her.
But we're just seeing like the mob online come after the Krasensteins and the Young Turks, and it's over nothing. I mean, seemingly nothing. Just having
Let
a
'em be
difference
in
of
the cult.
opinion.
Yeah. We had on the Culture War this morning. We had 2 drag queens. One was a more leftist drag queen. One was a not really left or right, just an older drag queen. The Kitty Demure and maybe a girl were the 2 drag queens. And Kitty, the drag queen's name, I suppose. I believe it's Kitty. I could be wrong. But was saying, look, kids should not be in these things. These are for adults. These are nightlife. These are nightclub things. These are party things. And the leftist was saying more otherwise. That was basically the argument. But the interesting thing about it was the cult-like ideology that persists in the left's view. And there was a moment on the show, the reason I bring this up is that I think the drag queen, the leftist, may have stumbled into something inadvertently which could cause problems for them. I criticized the book Genderqueer at the end of the show, saying conservatives have criticized this book without reading it, and they should read it. And many post-liberal thinkers and anti-woke people have criticized the book without reading it, and they should, because they highlight this book, Genderqueer, as having graphic images that shouldn't be shown to kids. That's correct, but the book is about this individual, this author's deep abuse and trauma, growing up from abusive parents, being forced to reuse menstrual products for days on end to the point where they smelled horribly, were pulled out of class, not being able to read till 12, having to go about their, relief business outside, and maybe said, thank you for that in response. I don't think that thank you will fly with the cult on the left. And that, I think, whether I'm right or wrong, my point is just my perception of it. There is a clear fall in line, say whatever you're supposed to say, no matter what it is, no matter how silly it is, or else. Whereas whatever this faction is, it's conservative, liberal, libertarian, people disagreeing on a ton of issues, but like kind of just being chill with each other.
Yeah, I get called bigot by other libertarians just because of my stance on that particular issue.
Just because you're a libertarian.
Just because I'm a libertarian.
Yeah, but what is up with that? I mean, let's talk about that because Joe Jorgensen I think it was 2020, right? Tweeted that cult worship line. It is not enough to not be racist. We must be actively anti-racist, which is basically a cult mantra. It's like effectively a neo-Marxist prayer.
Yep.
To see a libertarian tweet, "We must do something," was kind of hilarious to me. Like, we all must do this thing. I thought we were all about individual liberty and responsibility. I'm curious your thoughts on that element of the Libertarian Party and those ideas.
Yeah, I'm all about the individual and not necessarily the party itself. I was a libertarian well before I even knew what the party was. When I was kind of looking for my identity, back when McCain and Sarah Palin were running, and I just didn't like any of my options. So, I mean, I adopted ideology just because it makes sense to me. You don't hurt other people, you don't take people's stuff, and you just kind of mind your own business and live your life. But now you have the government coming in and ultimately trying to make decisions for you, both on the left and the right. One tries to police your existence, and the other one does now the same thing and tries to take your money along with it. Yeah. And now they're redefining society now in a culture war that doesn't even seem to make sense to me. And they're drawing lines in the sand that I've talked to people in the L, the G, the B, and the T communities, and they're all in agreement, right? And then you have the QIAs, and I don't even know what the I and the A stand for, but
intersex. Right.
Intersex. Queer, intersex, and asexual. Yeah. But there's more than that. There's two SI,
two spirits, right?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and yes, and then like there's a bunch of other letters that go into it.
But I mean, I feel like with the T, right? I feel like a lot of that is like with the body dysphoria and the mental aspects, where the Q is more just how I feel today.
Well, so here's the interesting thing. I mean, the T does encompass what the drag queen earlier was saying is trans non-binary, in which people will be gender fluid. That's how they describe it.
Boy, you about to find out.
Oh yeah. But here's what I see with the Progress Pride flag. It is, at one point, it was a rainbow flag to symbolize, the LGBT community. Then they added these stripes to it. Then they added a triangle to it. Then they added a circle to it. They're basically, it's like the Horde in World of Warcraft. You guys know what that reference is?
Yep.
It was these various bands of fractured cultures that came together. And so the idea behind that flag is aggrieved groups forming under one banner. They don't necessarily make sense. It does not make sense to have a gay pride flag that includes black people. Well, because not all black people are gay. I mean, the insinuation that this is a pride flag for gay LGBT pride and all black and brown people are a component of that doesn't seem to make a lot. It's not the same thing.
Have people started I feel like people started calling it the progress flag. Do you feel like that's
I believe it's called the Progress Pride flag.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe this is
could be
all just a really good plot from a flag maker who just wants to sell you a new flag every couple of years because they have to keep adding things to it constantly.
It's just all about oppression.
Yeah, it's called the Progress Pride flag. And so it's got, it's now got black, brown, sky blue, pink, white, a yellow triangle, and a purple circle. Mm-hmm. It's basically just putting symbols of aggrieved groups into one flag.
What's the purple circle?
I believe it could be asexual.
Okay.
Is there a white diamond? Maybe I would.
could be intersex.
Nothing white. Nothing white.
There's a white stripe. There is a
There's
white stripe.
too.
Yeah, and
But
the-
we know
the-
what
the-
group is not included, and that's...
Well, no.
that's
So
what it
the
is.
Progress Pride flag does have a white triangle on it, and that's because what is this? Okay, so the Progress Pride flag I have right here. The largest component of it is a white triangle, and that's because they all agree that they think white people are the most powerful, and of course, they want to make sure they're represented perfectly on their flag. I'm kidding, by the way.
Okay,
It is true that there's a giant white triangle on the flag.
Maybe that's
And
for the white women.
There's no explanation for what the white triangle is.
It's for the Karen.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
That's where the power of Karen is stored.
Let me look this up. But what are the colors? What do they mean? Okay, so let's see the Progress Pride flag, and I pulled it up on my phone for whatever reason. It said, "What do the rainbow stripes mean? Red is life, orange is healing, yellow is sunlight, green is nature, blue is harmony, purple is spirit." Okay, what do the triangles mean? The light blue, light pink, and white section represent transgender.
Yeah.
The black and brown stripes represent marginalized communities of color. The black stripe represents those who have been lost to AIDS. Wait, what, really? That is, I feel like that's deeply racist. To
mean,
say that the black stripe for black people is the AIDS stripe is horrifyingly racist.
I think the brown stripe is for people of color, and the black stripe is for
No. Look, look, I don't know. This is kansascity.com. This is looks like, it's so annoying. Oh, these websites are terrible. This is a Kansas City Star, and it says that the black stripe represents AIDS and black people.
Okay.
I'm not exaggerating. Let me pull this up. This is shocking to me.
I mean,
We can't give age another
I
color?
feel like depending on where you go, they're gonna have a different definition for this flag, and it's part of what Tim was saying. How it's like World of Warcraft. How it's all these random groups under one banner.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.